What has this week been like for you as somebody who's been around pro football your whole life?
Talking about DeMar. Well, all of us were shocked to see something like that live, and then what I like to see is just the outpouring of support. And I think sometimes these guys compete against. You have this team, and hey, we're brothers, we're a family, but it's nice to see sometimes the guys realizing like this is really a unique fraternity and a brotherhood across the league, across every team. I mean, these guys have a connection. They will for the rest of their life. You see former players who played on different teams. They see each other at events or whatever it may be, and it's all smiles and laughs, and they were part of something special. And for those guys to realize that, and then the outpouring of support from the community, his foundation, the amount of money that's been, donated to that. It's just, you hate to see like a tragic thing bring people together, but it is nice to see kind of the power of when everyone kind of works together for a common goal and cause, and that was pretty special.
What have the conversations been like just with your players? And when you guys get together, is any space allocated just to talk about it, or is it kind of in the team meeting setting?
Well, yeah, Kevin immediately sent out something, to the team, and then in our first team meeting together, addressed it with the guys, and not only his feelings about it, but just the support structure that we have, and just making sure that guys understand that, kind of the process is in place. If anything, catastrophic ever were to happen, for their peace of mind, as far as all the people and support staff we have and the training they go through for these types of things, but also for their families, their parents, their spouses, their girlfriend, whatever it may be, so that they understood kind of that, we have plans in place that are ready if anything were ever to happen.
Wes, what about the Packers plan really stood out to you just looking back at it?
What really stands out, I mean, when you look back at these types of things, is really what we could have done better to give our guys a better opportunity. They obviously they had a big plan for JJ on really just about all downs. The amount of single high that we got in that game was few and far between. It was about 90%, some sort of too high with help over the top. And really they had their, a good player covering him with help over the top. Sometimes when you see a double, they'll take the best corner and they'll put him on a different player and kind of try to eliminate him and then put two guys. But they put Jair on him most of the time, and he still had help over the top. So really for us, it's just about being hard on ourselves and how many times could we have put them in better positions to be able to make some of those plays.
How much do you have to take field conditions into account, not just in Green Bay, but obviously it'll happen in Chicago too?
We definitely have to take the conditions into account, and we have to be professional about whatever the environment we're playing in. And the margin for error in this league is small, and I assume you're kind of talking about guys slipping down on the ground, and it was noticeable that it happened with us, and it didn't happen with them. It was something that was addressed, but guys got to understand that the margin for error is so small. It can't be like, I'll get it next time. You don't know how many times you're going to have that play to change the game or to continue a drive, and we got to be professional about it. We got to make sure, whether it's technique at times, you cut off the wrong foot on any surface, you're going to fall down. But it was noticeable, and it has been addressed, prior to the game and post game. So we got to be better there.
With Brian O'Neill's injury, just how's he doing, and how do you move on without him?
It's a big loss, Brian being a captain, Brian being a leader in that room, and really on our team, and just kind of what he brings to the table, just from a player, from a person. But we do feel confident that ONeill is ready to step up and fill that role. ONeill's one of the more physically gifted players on our team and really across the league as far as tackles. He's got really long arms. He's big. He's strong. We do feel confident that he'll be able to step in and fill that role. But obviously, anytime you lose a captain and a guy that has that much impact on your team and has played really well this year as well, so definitely hurts to lose him, and I know it hurts for him. Going all the way here, and now we're about to go into the playoffs and hopefully try to make a run here. And for his season to be over, it's hard on those guys.
Wes, where does Herb stand? Do you think you'll have him to be able to contribute when the playoffs come?
Yeah, we're really working him in as much as he feels ready for. He's looked really good. I certainly expect Herb to be a part of this playoff run and be a factor for us. It's just another piece for us that we can get back in the mix and get involved, and defenses have to account for.
Going back to the field conditions real quick, there's like 7 stud cleats and 5 stud cleats, right? Do the players not like the 7 stud because they're slower? Or why wouldn't you just have one set that you use throughout the game?
Well, they feel different. I mean, anytime you're standing on like a bigger platform. But I will say this, Sullivan, who came from Green Bay, was their nickel. He never wore 7s, So I do think it's based on the player, but you do have to go out in pregame and make sure that you've got it right before we get out there. We can't make that decision afterwards. Okay, after it's already happened. Oh, I slipped down, because we don't know the impact of that play. And it wasn't just skill players. So there were guys up front. There were across the board that had some slips, and we have to be better in that area.
As you evaluated the run game the last few weeks, what stands out to you just about how you guys are operated and what you see? Well,
when you don't have a great opportunity to run the ball a lot in second halves of games, the evaluation, it never looks good numbers wise as far as if you get behind and you're having to throw the football more. You'd love a game where you get ahead a little bit and you have a chance to really start getting off some runs, and that's generally when your numbers are higher and carries and yards and all that type of thing. But there's certainly some concepts that we feel like we've been pretty good at that we're going to try to emphasize and try to take out a little bit of the uncertainty on some of maybe the one-off type concepts or scheme specific. Hey, this is a run we're putting in against this defense, this front, because it looks good. Trying to stick a little more to kind of what these guys know, and so they can really play fast, come off the ball. I mean, that's number one. Just come off the rock, make sure we're targeted correctly, and then we've got good enough backs to make something happen.
Well, this is kind of random, but you were around Jared Goff, obviously in Los Angeles. When he got traded, I think there was a thought that it was just kind of a throw-in or like bridge quarterback or whatever you want to call it. He's obviously done a lot better than that. Just wondering from your experience of knowing him and watching him in Detroit, like what you think is behind him being able to, succeed to the point that he has?
Well, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a quarterback who's led his team to a Super Bowl, and I know, rightfully so. Sean deserves some credit for that as far as calling the plays for him. But this guy had to play quarterback, and He's a talented, really talented passer. He's competitive. He, it's funny you asked about it because when we came in and we're installing this offense, we had a lot of clips from LA, whether it be Stafford or the years prior, with Jared showing some of the concepts. And I think a lot of guys on our staff that weren't quite as maybe hadn't studied him as much, just really looked at him, said, wow, that was a great throw, or this guy can really throw. They were impressed seeing the clips of him, and that's something I saw up close. So I knew what he was capable of, and I'm not surprised. They've got a strong offensive line. They've got a good run game, and they've got good coaches over there. And so I'm happy that he's getting some recognition, though, because I like Jared personally, and I think he deserves it.